This lesson on the sociology of family is about singlehood, obviously being not married, being single. So, big change in our culture. What is it? It simply refers to not being married, choosing to remain single. How many people? Really difficult to say. We've certainly got about 50% of people, adults, not married. 30 years ago, the same number was 24%. But it doesn't mean 50%, doesn't mean 51% of people are single. Some of them are going to be cohabiting. There isn't a really good way to measure how many people are single, but we are pretty confident that the numbers have gone up. So, why the rise? Firstly, we've got a big cultural change. In the past, particularly for women, the language, the adjectives that were used around being single were very negative. You were a spinster, you were an old maid. There was a lot of pressure put on women to get married, not remain single. And that seems to have largely gone. Partly because the culture's changed around things like sex. It's now much more normal to have sex outside of marriage, therefore removing one of the prime reasons for getting married. Also, more women have good jobs because they have good education, therefore don't need to get married. So we've got these big cultural changes. We also have some what you'd call medical, technological changes. From the 1960s onwards, contraception. The contraceptive pill changed things enormously for women. Now they, for the first time ever in human history, were in charge of their own fertility. They took this pill, their partner, any man there with, if not their business, whether or not their partner was on the pill, so women could choose to have sex without the risk of getting pregnant. Therefore they can remain single. What women want out of life has changed, partly because of feminism. As feminists come along, write their books, think their thoughts, talk about patriarchy, women realise, so there are lots of women, marriage is a trap. We don't wish to be married or even a permanent relationship with a man because it's very patriarchal. Some very famous feminists here. Anne Oakley, who we talked about, did a lot of work on domestic duties. Sue Sharp, her book was Just Like a Girl, did a lot of work on this. And she's the one who did the work on how in the last 30, 40 years, what women, girls expect from life has massively changed. So 30 years ago, when girls were 15, 16 years of age, their expectations for their future were marriage and children. And now, these days, women, girls say it's jobs first. If it's jobs first, being married, or not being single, is further down the list of things that they want from life. Now, to functionalists, of course, this is all a problem. To functionalists, different people in our culture having different views is a problem. We must have value consensus. Yeah, we all must have the same culture, the same values. So to functionalists, the rise in singlehood is potentially a problem. It's dangerous, immoral. Yeah. So modernists, so the postmodernists, none of this is an issue. The rise in singlehood is just another example of human freedom, no longer having been forced to obey one type of culture, one set of rules, one lot of values. That was the idea of modernity, was the idea that there was one right way to do things. In postmodernity, there isn't a right way to do things. And that's a good thing, that it promotes human freedom.